Hi beauties, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Hannah. Welcome, thank you for being here. Today's video is going to be episode 2 of the Hannah's How To series. This is going to be Hannah's How To priming. So this one's going to be a pretty short, simple video. I'm just going to give you guys some tips and let you guys know the things that I use for the skin type that I have and the stuff that I kind of want to cover up. So if you guys are interested in that, then just keep on watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It would help me out a lot. Click the big thumbs up down below. Click the post notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a brand new video. And leave me a comment down below. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm going to come in a little bit closer so that you guys can see my skin and like what I work with. I have said this many times before on my channel, but for those of you who are new here or who don't know, I do have very acne prone skin. My skin is very sensitive and it breaks out from certain products, so I have to be careful with what I use. I do have some discoloration on my face. I also have oily combination skin, so I'm oily in my T-zone but dry on the perimeters, especially like my chin and then down on my neck. So I really have to be like conscious of the products I use, and I have tried for like the past year basically to really hone in on products that work well for my skin. That is basically the gist of what I work with. I do also have very enlarged pores on my nose and then right here, so that's kind of something that I also deal with, that I try and cover up when I'm doing my makeup. First thing that you want to do to get like the desired face makeup that you want, or like the nice smooth base that you're trying to achieve, is first of all moisturizing. So skincare is first and foremost. If you don't have good skincare, then your makeup isn't going to be super great and you're not going to get that really smooth look that you're going for. Skincare is so important. You need to be conscious of the products you're using, making sure that they're right for your skin type and what you're trying to achieve in your skin. If you have like dry skin, you don't want to be using super mattifying products. And if you have super oily skin, you don't want to be using oil-based products because that's not going to work out very well for you. Just stuff like that, and also just making sure you're taking care of your skin, taking off your makeup every night, washing your face before bed, washing your face in the morning, stuff like that, moisturizing, toning, whatever you need to do. I know some of those stuff, it's not in everyone's budget, or some people just don't like a 20-step skincare routine, which is fine. I used to do a lot of steps in my skincare routine, and I've kind of broken it down into a smaller scale. So I only do, I think, like maybe 5 steps in my skincare routine, sometimes more than that on like a really intense day where I wore a lot of full coverage makeup, or if my skin's just been going through it. But you don't have to have a lot of products, you just have to have good products. So my first thing that I'm going to do is moisturize. I did moisturize this morning, but now it's later in the day, so I'm going to just add a little bit more because my skin has probably dried up since then. So the moisturizer I'm going to be going in with is a little bit on the higher price side, but I feel like it's really, really worth it. I have 2 moisturizers that I use. Sometimes I go in with a little bit of both, or just one depending on how I'm feeling. It's either this one that I'm about to show you guys, or it's my e.l.f. one, the Holy Hydration Cream. It's really, really good, especially for people with sensitive skin. I use the fragrance-free version because I try and limit fragrance in my products just because I do have super sensitive skin. I feel like that one's good, and it's a super cheap alternative. So if you guys would rather get that one and try it out, then I would highly suggest it. This one's the CEO Sunday Riley Cream. It's a vitamin C rich hydration cream. So it's really, really nice. It's got 5% vitamin C in it. I have definitely noticed a change in my skin since I started using it. As you can see, I've used a good amount of it. I've been using it for a few weeks now, and it definitely does brighten the skin, and I feel like it's super hydrating too. And vitamin C is something that is good to implement into your skincare routine anyways. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this since I already moisturized a little bit this morning. I'm just going to take that much, just a very small amount, rub it between my fingers, and then just kind of focus this on the perimeters of my face, and then bring the excess towards the center. And then you always want to bring your skincare down on your neck, because your neck is an extension of the face, and you do put makeup down there anyways, so you want to make sure you're bringing your skincare down. I also usually bring it on my décolleté, especially when I'm doing like my nighttime skincare routine. So that's like a good thing to be aware of as well. So now that I'm done moisturizing, I'm going to go ahead and prime. So for primers, there is obviously hundreds out there that you could use. I have a few here that I want to show you guys that I have used and I love. You do not have to use more than one primer. Some people do and some people don't. It just depends on what kind of skin you have. For me personally, I usually use 2 different types of primers because of the fact that I do have combination skin, and my skin on my T-zone is completely different than my skin around my perimeters of my face. So for my T-zone, I always use my xoxo Silk Canvas. This is what it looks like for anyone who does not know. This is the mini version, but you can get the big one. I just use the mini because the big one I feel like is a lot of product, and the mini is enough to get you through months and months. I've had this for forever now and I still haven't ran out. So it's basically kind of like a putty type consistency, but more silky. If you have ever tried the e.l.f. putty primer, that is a dupe for this, I believe. So I just take a very small amount. I literally only take like that much, rub it in between my fingers, and then I push it into my T-zone, and I really only use it there. I won't take it any further because I don't need this anywhere else, because it's mostly just to fill in pores. And when you look up close, you can see that it visibly improves like the pores. I'll come in closer. I don't know if you guys will be able to see, but it fills in the pores like really good. I have been using this for a really long time and I love it. It is very pricey, but if you get the mini, of course it's going to be cheaper, and then you can try it and see if you like it. But for anyone who has big pores, you will like it. It's so good. I love it, and I haven't found anything else that really works the same for me. So that's what I use for my T-zone, and I use that every single time. I never stray away from that when I'm doing my makeup, but these are the ones that I kind of switch up on. So for the rest of my face, because I'm more dry, I want to use something that's either like illuminating, so has a little bit of hydrating products in it, or something that's just like straight hydrating. It doesn't have to be illuminating, but usually anything that says illuminating on it is going to be pretty hydrating. So here's 3. I have the Revlon. It's Photo Ready Rose Glow Hydrating Plus Illuminating Primer. So this is what this one looks like. This one's a little bit on the cheaper side. Obviously it's drugstore, so this is a good option for someone who just wants to try something but doesn't want to spend a lot of money. The next one I have is the Morphe Foundation Primer. It's the Revitalizer one, and this one blurs and softens imperfections, instantly makes skin feel moisturized. So that's why I got this one, because I wanted a more moisturizing one. I really like this one because I do feel like it blurs and like softens, and it also does feel very hydrating. So this one's a good one. And then another one is this Wander Beauty Glow Ahead Illuminating Face Oil. And then last but not least is another really good one. This one is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. For this one isn't necessarily like a super hydrating one. This one is more of one that I really like because it's super gripping, so your foundation sticks to it really well. It also isn't necessarily drying, like whereas like a mattifying one or like a pore filling one isn't super moisturizing. This one does have a little bit of moisture to it, so sometimes I'll use this for kind of all over my face except for right here, and it works really well to keep the foundation on like all day. I don't use it super often because my face will break out if I use this every day, but I'll use it if I'm going to like an event or a gathering or something like that I want to have my makeup stay on really well the whole time. This is a good one, and that one's pretty reasonably priced. Same with the Wander Beauty one. I think that one's pretty reasonable if I remember correctly. So that's pretty much it on the primers I use. Another thing that I want to talk about is like priming other things, so like priming your lips and your lids. So for your lids, I talked about this in my last eyeshadow how-to. An eyeshadow primer is like a very good step for getting an even application on eyeshadow and getting everything to blend very nicely. So I always use the Zoeva. I've tried a couple other ones, but I haven't found ones that I like as much as that. So an eyeshadow primer, definitely I would recommend going out and getting if you don't have one. And then for lips, what I do is when I'm priming the rest of my face, I go ahead and put something on my lips just so that they start getting hydrated for when I go to put lipstick on later. Or if you're not even doing lipstick, it's just good to hydrate your lips. That way, if you're not wearing lipstick, your lips look really nice and like plump. I will just take like a lip balm or a chapstick or literally anything. I have this Sugar Rush one from Tarte that you can just like dip your finger into and rub on your lips, and it's really hydrating and it's not like sticky, so it basically feels just like a regular lip balm, but I like that one because it stays on my lips the whole time. There's some that kind of dry down really fast, so then you don't really get the full effect of it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for priming. For today, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and use the Revlon Rose Glow one, and I'll do that on camera so you guys can see what it looks like. Okay, so I've got a good amount here. I'm just gonna rub that on my hands and rub it on the outside of my face. Okay, so that's what that looks like. As you guys can see, it doesn't really leave like sparkles or anything like that. It just leaves like a really nice natural glow, and it's pretty hydrating for when you go in with your foundation. Before I end this video, I will just leave off with one last tip that I do. I do spray my face before I go in with foundation. I think that's like a good step to do, especially if you have dry skin. I just mainly focus it on the perimeters of my face, and I feel like the foundation just lays better, and that's like one last chance for me to just set some moisture into my skin before I lay the foundation on. So if you have like a hydrating mist, or even if you're oily and you want to use like a mattifying one before you put your foundation on, that's good too. But that's just one step that I like to do as well. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Give me a big like down below, click the post notification bell so that you get notified when I upload my brand new videos, and leave me a comment down below. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, beauties!